Matthew, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Rebecca. Good to be here.
You describe your book as a love letter to life, a culmination of 35 years worth of journaling. The result is some very moving and thought-provoking storytelling. I laughed out loud several times. I teared up. What are you hoping people will learn by reading about your journey that started here in Texas?
Yes, indeed. Well, I'm glad you laughed, and I'm glad you teared up, because there's life right there between a laugh and a tear, right? I'm hoping, these are personal stories of mine, but I found that the more personal I got, the more relatable actually the stories became. So hopefully people can laugh and get some wisdom, but also see themselves in these stories. You won't have the exact same experiences as me, but everyone's had similar experiences and had similar feelings, has gone through tough times and hardships and wondered how to get out of it, and gotten out of it quite well sometimes. So this is a book about, when the title Green Lights, is that all the red and yellows in our life do eventually turn green. That's up to us and how we see the situation, how we handle the situation, and how much patience we can have before they actually do turn green. So sometimes you catch green lights in life by the decisions we make. Sometimes we get quite lucky, and sometimes it's just about how we see it. And here's to catch and create more of these. That's what it's about.
You've done a lot of what you call checking out to check in, whether it's traveling to other countries or just taking the time to look inward and reflect. How important has that been for you as a person and as a creative?
Greatly important. I mean, it's something that we all don't do, including myself, probably as much as we should. And I get it. We're busy. I'm busy. So when do we have time to check out, to check in? Is it prayer before meals? Is it meditation? Is it when we go exercise? Is it at the end of the day? Is it the beginning of the day? Is it in the middle of the day? I think everyone who does it, you see how important it is to us individually. We're leading very busy lives. We have more frequencies coming in on us now than ever before in our lives. Kids, calls, internet, text, everything. So we need to check out to just, one, let our memory catch up with us, to actually feel, how do we feel about that situation that just happened? Because it's very easy to get on autopilot. And I know for me, I'm pretty damn good on autopilot. I can handle things. I can run on reserve for quite some time. But I know I need to get away to go, wait a minute, let's let everything settle and let my head get coordinated with my heart, and let's see how we really feel about what we're doing, and take time to feel what we've been doing. So that's about, it's been very important for me to check out, to check in. And I've had some wonderful trips that are turned out to be not what I expected, and they're in this book.
Your book includes a lot of poems and musings, and one thing you wrote that really jumped out to me is sometimes we get a stamp in our passport just by crossing the street. You visited a lot of countries. You've crisscrossed the U.S. in a camper. It seems a lot of your personal growth has come from meeting with people from different walks of life. Talk about that.
Yeah, I have been able to travel all over the world. I will say this, as far as I can tell, we're all looking for what do we need to be happy or be satisfied. As far as I can tell, my travels through all the culture I've crossed is that we each need something to look forward to. Something to wake up in the morning and just have to build towards, to look forward to. A goal to reach, whether that's raising a child, whether that's creating something, whether that's working today to get the paycheck at the end of the week. We need something to look forward to. That's what I've found. I've found that, money, while it's a wonderful tool, is definitely not a key to happiness. It can help you access things that can make you happy. I've found that we all want to be relevant, but we should ask, relevant for what? I've seen some of the happiest people in the world. They had great community. They had great senses of humor. Sense of humor has seemed to be something that I've seen around the world in my travels that is a common denominator amongst the people that seem to be the most healthy, to seem to have the most healthy relationships. And that's one that I try to remind myself I know. As my buddy Richard Linklater and I say, if you're not sure how to respond to a situation, let's make sense of humor the default emotion, and we'd all get along a little better.
And speaking of him and Austin, let's bring it back to Austin. You went to college here. You got your start in Hollywood here with Dazed and Confused, and you've made it your home. What is it about this city that keeps you here?
It's optimism. It's youthful outlook. It's push and pull between a young university with youth wanting to progress, but across the street is the Capitol and the backbone tradition. This relationship is where I think Austin is at its best, when those two challenge each other and work together. It's an outdoor town. It's a town for me that nobody needs proof that I'm in Austin. Or in Austin, they just do a Dazed Confused line. Somebody's walking down that side of the street. I'm walking down this side of the street. They yell over, "Hey, man, got a joint?" And I go, "Be a lot cooler if you did." And we both cackle and laugh, and everybody in the street laughs, and we just walk on and go, yeah.
There really is a place for everyone.
All you have to do is be you in Austin. And that's not an easy thing for everyone to be. I know that can be difficult, but that's all you got to be, is you. And as Austin's growing, look, we're becoming a metropolis. We've got to embrace progress, but still preserve our core DNA, our soul. And that's the challenge that I'm looking forward to with Austin.
You talk several times in your book. One of the only thing that you ever knew you wanted to be was a father, and now you are to 3.
Yes.
Do they share your love of adventure? Are they building 13-story tree houses by themselves as you did?
They are building tree houses. They aren't up to 13 floors like I was yet, but we'll see. Yeah, that's the only thing I ever knew I wanted to be. I remember I was 8 years old, and my dad was a big sirs and ma'ams and please and thank you man, and I was shaking some of his friend's hand, looking up at him and going, "Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you, sir." And it hit me at 8 years old. Oh, the one thing of everybody that I'm saying sir to, the common denominator, is that they're all fathers. They all have children. And in my 8-year-old mind, I said, oh, that's when you've made it, when you become a dad. And I still believe that, and I'm about to turn 51, and that's still the job with which I hold the most reverence for, fatherhood.
Yeah, it really teaches you a lot about yourself. The Austin Book Festival is underway virtually, of course, because of the pandemic. And on Saturday at 4, you are one of the featured authors. I understand you'll be having a discussion about green lights with Ethan Hawke. How can people take part and hear more about your book?
One, tune in there. Come over and have a listen to Ethan and I talk. We're going to talk for at least an hour about green lights. He's going to mainly interview me. I'm sure we'll be talking about some of these subjects, fatherhood, how to create and catch green lights in our own lives, and then a whole bunch of other things that I'm sure I don't even know what he's going to ask, and will be quite unexpected. He's an author himself, so we'll be 2 Texas writers talking about green lights and everything else. So you can tune in virtually, and I think it's limitless how many people can.
Right.
So come on in and
we will.
Get a book.
Green Lights. We'll have all the info on Green Lights and the festival on our website as well. Matthew McConaughey, congratulations on your book, and thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you very much. Just keep living.
West Texas continues to deal with a measles outbreak. State health officials say since January, 146 people, mostly children, have been infected across 9 counties. More than 20 people in Texas have been hospitalized, and all of them are unvaccinated. Also this week, the state confirmed a young unvaccinated child died while being treated at a hospital in Lubbock. It is the first measles death in the U.S. in 10 years. Joining us to talk more about measles is Dr. Elizabeth Douglas, an infectious disease expert and assistant professor of internal medicine at Dell Medical School at UT Austin. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
Dr. Douglas, for those who don't know, what is measles and what are the symptoms?
So measles is a very highly contagious respiratory virus, which affects, if you're unvaccinated, 90% of individuals would be ill. Typically, the symptoms range from, they begin with fever, headache, runny nose, and then the patient will develop a rash. Sometimes it can be a mild illness, but often it can be complicated as well, depending on the health status of the patient, or even patients that do have a normal immune system. Some patients can get pneumonia, some patients can have a brain infection, and there's various complications of measles.
Well, there is concern here in Central Texas after an infected person from West Texas visited San Marcos and New Braunfels around Valentine's Day. What is the incubation period, and how long does someone remain contagious?
So the incubation is ranges from about 6 to 21 days, and a patient is contagious for 4 to 5 days before they have symptoms, and then up to 4 days after they have the rash. So it's a pretty long period.
Now, the CDC says 2 doses of the measles vaccine is 97% effective. How contagious, again, is measles if someone isn't vaccinated and they're exposed to it?
So 9 out of 10 people will get sick, so it's highly contagious.
If you were vaccinated as a child, do you need a booster as an adult?
Now, if you receive the 2 recommended vaccines, it's felt that you have lifelong immunity. There have been cases of measles in patients that are vaccinated, but they tend to be extremely mild. So at this point, it is not recommended that the general population get boosters.
From my understanding, if you were born prior to 1957, you were probably exposed to the measles, probably had it, but there was also a period in the 60s where the vaccine was not effective. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, they used to use a different vaccine. It was a killed vaccine, and it may have not been as effective. Patients that get sick with measles that had that vaccine, they still get sick. It's a little bit different. They call it like atypical measles infection. So if you did not receive the 2 current vaccines, 2 doses, it would be recommended that you do receive another MMR vaccine.
If you do come down with measles, how is it typically treated?
So most of the treatment is completely supportive. There are rare cases where people, especially in children, very young children that have severe pneumonia, they may be treated with an antiviral, but that's not the standard of care. It's usually supportive treatment. There's other rare instances where we give intravenous immunoglobulin, but generally it's supportive, which means just like when you have a cold, you just treat the symptoms.
How concerned are you that this current measles outbreak is going to expand further?
I am concerned. I'm concerned, and hopefully this will prompt individuals that are not vaccinated, or even if you're not sure that you're vaccinated, to at least in this period receive another vaccine. There's no harm in getting an extra vaccine.
All right, Dr. Elizabeth Douglas with Dell Medical School at UT Austin, thank you so much for sharing your time and your expertise with us tonight.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.